Welcome back to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac from Roby Electric. Along with Trent Haston from the Roby family of companies, we are your hosts. Trent just got wrapped up with Rich Pizio from Ferguson Enterprises, had a couple laughs with him, and he got us educated on the world of plumbing, lighting, and appliances.
Yeah, plumbing, lighting, and appliances. I will say I talked about going on a golf trip or a couple with those guys over the years, and I think 02, maybe 03, maybe 04, I don't know. It's funny how time flies, or it goes backwards. Maybe it was 05, but then it was really probably 02. We went down to Hilton Head for the golf tournament down there, and what's it, the Heritage?
The Heritage.
And the next year they invited me back, and I was able to take my dad, and we had a blast, and it was awesome for my dad and the senior leadership over at Ferguson back then to get to know my dad. And my dad was kind of a fish out of water at those things, but he just went with the flow and kind of like a chaperone type fella, But he did good, and we had a great time. And it's one of my very fondest memories of doing stuff. I have so many with my dad, but that was a great time. Thank you guys at Ferguson for allowing that to happen, and me being able to bring my dad along.
So this is going to my parents were at that same tournament with Ferguson. My dad worked for a vendor, and I don't know if they were with Ferguson, but my father worked for Victaulic, who was a vendor to Ferguson, and they used to, that was one of the trips that he would go on with to the Heritage with my mom. So there's a good chance that y'all could have crossed paths.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Especially
Isn't that funny
at
how
that
the
time
stars
frame.
align?
Yeah.
I have a gift for you in my truck, actually. I went through all my books at home and found The Wealthy Barber.
Oh,
that
we
talked
talked about that
last week on the radio. I think David Chilton is the guy that wrote it. I don't really remember stuff like that. But it's got about
I think you do.
10 water rings on it from my cups over to the... Literally, I mean, my mom got me this book, I think, when I was 15 or 16 years old. So it's over 20 years old. It's a relic, and of the paperback variety. But I brought it. I was going to give it to you. Thought it might help you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I've always wanted to learn how to cut hair.
No, it has nothing to do with cutting hair.
I know, Trent. I know. I'm just making a joke.
It's a wisdom
Yes.
book.
Yes.
So.
So that's good. So we've got the Panthers coming up against the Saints. Are we going 2-4, or are we going 1-5?
Man, I don't know. Daddy told me I couldn't bet on football.
Just college, right?
I quit. No,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I honestly thought they were going to win last Monday night. I was pumped up about it, but I don't know if it's just not our year. But we only got 4 losses. I mean, we can come back. Is Cam playing today?
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that to the coach.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea. We're gonna go back to Ferguson for a second. Relationship, and that's really what our show, we try to embody that. Everybody we bring on here, it's funny that they're our friends. I mean, that's sort of the best part about this is we get to do business with our friends.
Well, we're only bringing our teammates on the show. But Ferguson and Roby have this similar mindset. If you can use your bandwidth and vertically integrate some components in some parts of the business, then why not do it? And if only you improve by it. And that's kind of what we were talking about. If you can go to Ferguson and knock a couple things off your to-do list. But I honestly was thinking about. I mean, this is what I think about when I'm laying on the couch with the kids is being a project manager and how far removed I am really from being a project manager like our guys are, and how many, just on like a kitchen remodel, how many items you have to drive and what makes a good project manager. And I think we got a wonderful project management team at Roby, but you have to set a list and you got to check boxes and you got to make decisions. You got to drive your client, and our struggle is we have to drive our client with tact because you can't upset them, and they have their normal busy life. And typically, I mean, in kitchen and bathroom models and what we do, and even in new houses, most of these folks have young families and young kids, and they got kids in nursery, kids in preschool. Typically, if the husband's making a good living, he's probably got to travel and he's busy and he's doing his thing and doesn't want to be bothered to a point with these decisions until he wants to be bothered, and then he says, "Why didn't you ask me?" Which I understand.
Yeah.
But so you got to drive it, but you got to check those boxes, and we're trying to find partners that can help make and check boxes easier. And also communicate with us on around the backside so that we're on the same page and we look together to our client, and our client feels that.
I mean, as you mentioned, it's a complex process. I mean, in Ferguson, obviously their new showroom. I'm going to plug the location, and we're going to get the website out there for folks. 129 West Summit Avenue, across from, I think it's a Wooden Robot is a restaurant that's over there. FergusonShowrooms.com. And I also want to go ahead and invite, Rich will probably look at me funny here, but they're hosting our NARI event on October 27th, coming up. So if you are in the industry, you've heard us talk about NARI on this show quite a bit, and you want to check out the Ferguson showroom, kill two birds with one stone, come out 129 West Summit Avenue, or check out our website, NARICharlotte.com, and check them out.
Hey, also, before we go here, Travis Thomas, who puts our video together, got our cornhole video together about our 9th annual Pitching for Wishes. It's out. Please go check it out. I think you can check it out on pitchingforwishes.org. I think you can also check it out on the Make-A-Wish website or AndrewRoby.com or RobyElectric.com. We'll have it RobyHome.com.
And on Facebook. Any one of those.
So check it out. Yep. We're gonna blast it. It's the coolest video, and if it doesn't make you drop tears of us this year raising over $210,000 to grant wishes for children with life-threatening illnesses, then get a heart.
There you go. Folks, thanks for joining us this Sunday. We'll be back next Sunday from 9 to 10 on At Home with Roby.
Wow, wow, wow.